Lottie Creator 2.0 takes aim at Rive, a new Blender add-on makes working with materials super easy, and Maxon beefs up Redshift with procedural scratches and zooming lens flares. It's Motion Mondays. Let's get into it. Lottie Creator 2.0 is adding a bunch of features Rive users will recognize, which tells you exactly who Lottie Files is aiming at these days. It's still a browser-based tool for building Lottie and .Lottie animations, but now it includes a full keyframe graph editor right in the interface. Motion Copilot version 2 can build keyframes, shapes, and motion from text prompts, but the biggest addition is State Machines, which lets you embed no-code hover, click, and custom interactive triggers straight into the animation files. Lottie's still got a long way to go to match Rive's overall robustness, but it's yet another sign that everyone is building interactive motion systems right now. Meaning if you're not learning interactive or UI animation workflows yet, you definitely should be. And hey, we just happen to have some courses to help you with just that. And now onto some School of Motion news. If you've noticed, we've been getting into, vibing out with vibe coding lately, creating tools. We made No Ninja for Cinema 4D and Unreal Engine. And now we have our very first After Effects extension. It's called Type Chopper, and it takes a single type layer and breaks it down into a complete animation setup. You can split by letters, words, or lines, pick your stagger, start animating immediately without manually splitting layers. It's completely free, so go and grab it. The link will be in the description to do just that. And course-wise, our Grease Pencil Fill Guide, Figma Design for Motion, and Product Visualization in Blender courses are all dropping later this year. And for All Access members, we have Community Office Hours on August 5th at 1 p.m. Eastern, followed by a live Unreal Engine workshop with the GOAT Jonathan Wimbush on August 13th at 12 p.m. Eastern. And as always, you can keep up to date with all things School of Motion by bookmarking that Coming Soon page. Link for that will be in the description. Now, if NASA is using your Blender Sky Simulator, it's probably pretty good. Physical Atmosphere² is the successor to Physical Starlight and Atmosphere, which has sold over 17,000 copies and has been used in production at studios like Ubisoft and yes, even NASA. The new version adds a true spectral atmosphere model with multiple light scattering, ozone controls, and simulated real-world air pollution. You get fine-grained controls for aerosols, fog, and cloud layers, plus the ability to render Earth's atmosphere from space or from the ground. It runs on Blender 5.2 and up, works across integrated and dedicated GPUs, so if you need realistic skies or volumetric clouds in Blender, this is probably one of the best tools available, and you can grab it over at Superhive Marketplace. Blender's material workflow has always had a little bit of a good luck energy to it, and Sweet Boy Motion just built a whole add-on to fix just that by borrowing the best parts of Cinema 4D, Substance Painter, and Maya and brought it all together in one place. And it's called Crayon Box, and it's created by Elijah Sheffield, who also teaches our Blender for 3D Artists course. The add-on adds a radial hotkey quick picker for assigning materials directly in the viewport, alongside smart tag category sorting and solo view filtering. Now, one of the best features is the texture nudge, which lets you transform triplanar projection coordinates using standard G, S, and R hotkeys right in the viewport without unwrapping UVs or getting into your material node setup. It also includes Sticker Gun, which is also free by itself, but it's a one-click decal placement that auto-builds shader setups. Now you can grab all of these things over on Superhive, and you can use the promo code SOM25 for 25% off all of those things. Link will be in the description. Adobe Substance Painter is still the default for texture painting, but InstaMAT has been making that a harder case to make. Now, the latest update introduces a full 2D painting system, letting artists paint directly on UV layouts and a 2D view alongside the 3D viewport, much like Substance Painter. It uses the exact same brush engine, lazy stroke, symmetry, and projection features as the 3D painting does, with full native UDIM support for texturing across multiple map tiles seamlessly. You can also solo specific materials or UDIM tiles, bake environment lighting via an updated mesh bake light node, and generate smoother curvature maps. The Pioneer Edition remains completely free for artists and small studios making under $100,000 annually. Now onto some cool work from across the interwebs. First up from Sydney, Australia, we've got Never Sit Still's opening film for the Design Conference 2026. Their brief was wide open: inspire the audience and explore where creative ideas come from. So they went and built an abstract, surreal piece inspired by Greek mythology, blending cosmic particle effects, iridescent color grading, and abstract digital sculpture. Now, if only getting inspired were as easy as taking a sip from the Hippocrene. which I hope I'm saying that right. Next, Sebastian Pfeiffer, also known as Everfresh, dropped a new process piece showing off his signature blend of 2D cell style built entirely inside of Cinema 4D. I absolutely love his character work and his smooth transitions. Highly recommend you check out more of his work to see just all the styles that he's applying to make his 3D look super 2D and toony. And finally, Eve Sculpts released a trailer and Kickstarter for her personal Blender short film. Now, I'm a huge fan of Eve's work, and as someone who's making a very, very short film right now too, I can only imagine how much work an indie animated short takes that's much longer than what I'm working on, and I've just seen how much work Eve has put into this over the years. And that's why I really want to hype this project. It deserves all the support we can send. These times, you really got to support our fellow artists, right? Now, as always, links to all the work can be found in the description below. Gaussian splats have been hot for a while now, and now you can bring them directly into After Effects for free and composite them like any other 3D element. Kiri Innovations released a free open source After Effects plugin that imports PLY splat files generated from scanning tools like the Kiri engine. The plugin ties into native After Effects 3D cameras, supports depth of field, and includes built-in tools for cropping, gradient recoloring, and noise displacement to create some splatty MoGraph, which is totally a thing, trust me. While it's lighter on the G-Splat editing features than a lot of Blender's add-ons, it still offers a fast, free pipeline for bringing splat scans into your After Effects comps. Riku keeps releasing awesome Cinema 4D plugins, and Clippy is his latest. It gives you clean animated mesh cutoffs driven by a vertex map. And if you ever tried to pull that off with a volume builder setup, you'll immediately get why this is so super useful. Now, instead of deleting whole polygons and wrecking your geometry topology, Clippy interpolates new points right along the clipping boundaries. So your quads, UVs, normal selections, and Phong breaks will remain completely intact, while deformers and cached animations continue to evaluate cleanly. It works on Cinema 4D 2026 on Windows and Mac, and it's available for free on Gumroad. Link will be in the description. Using AI as a renderer is something I've been seeing a lot lately, and LucyLive brings that concept to Cinema 4D. You set up your scene in Cinema 4D, type a prompt, and the AI renders it live as you animate in your viewport. Developed by Denis Sibilev, the free plugin streams your active C4D viewport into Descartes Lucy's 2.5 generative model via Fall.ai. You maintain total control over your 3D geometry, your camera moves, and your keyframe timing, while the AI will continuously restyle, light, add textures, and atmosphere on the fly. Now, I could see this being pretty helpful for rapid look development and pitching ideas before committing the long renders without ever leaving your C4D interface. This week's Student of the Week is Katrina Suhu, and I know them from the great work they did in our Cinema 4D classes, and I've been a fan for quite a while now. They recently took our Cavalry Kickstart course and built a fully procedural poster generator system for the class assignment. The project requires students to build art-directed layout system that randomizes colors, shapes, character assets, and compositions with a single click. And Katrina's execution is clean, stylish, love that lucky cat, and it's an example of exactly why procedural tools like Cavalry are worth adding to your motion design toolset. You can find more of her work online. We'll have all the links to Katrina's work in the description below. Half Res is back in Chicago on September 11th, and as someone who helps organize the creative sessions, I can tell you this speaker lineup this year is one of the best ones yet. The event takes place at a new venue called CineCity, and starting with the studio tours and educational sessions before moving on to a party mode with C4D cube races, pinball, and vendor setups, it's a jam-packed day. The main stage features a keynote from Barton Damer of Already Been Chewed, alongside talks from Patrick Coleman of The Heist. The creative sessions lineup includes awesome artists like Blake Catherine, David Meller, Kaho Yoshida, and yours truly. Tickets and tier details are available on the Half Res website right now, and just for our School of Motion community, the folks at Half Res are giving us a code so you can save 25% off. Just use Pixels and Cubes SOM at checkout. Hope to see you there. Link will be in the description for all those tickets. Redshift just beefed up its procedural wear and tear game with a new scratches shader, and I've already been playing around with it. It's a lot of fun. The node gives you fine control over seed, density, length, and direction, allowing you to quickly add procedural surface wear to metal or plastic materials. And when you combine the scratches node with curvature maps, you can restrict scratches strictly to high wear edges. So Redshift 2026.8 also adds an independently animatable high altitude cloud layer for even more realistic volumetric skies. On the Red Giant side, Real Lens Flares adds a dedicated zoom slider across all zoom lens models, meaning you can keyframe focal length changes natively inside After Effects without any hacky workarounds. And that's it for Motion Mondays this week. Don't forget, Type Chopper for After Effects is available for free, so go grab it over on our website. Link will be in the description, as will links to all the stories and work that we've covered. And All Access members, make sure to mark down August 5th for our live office hours and August 13th for Jonathan Winbush's Unreal Engine workshop. Thanks so much for watching. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta go make some splatty MoGraph. That's an animation, not anything else. All right, I'll see you next time.